So as we've already seen, protein engineering is incredibly useful, and it's going to have even more uses in the future. And one of those uses, as you might have guessed, is simply medicine or protein therapeutics. And basically, protein therapeutics, again, it's simply medicine using proteins, such as Embrow, as discussed earlier. And and this is a preferred method because proteins can have many properties, biological properties, and a lot of those properties could be desirable for the medicine. And again, proteins are able to perform lots of tasks as discussed in the intro section. So it's a very ideal substance to be making medicines from. Now, another possible future application for protein engineering is in the area of biomaterial design. So, biomaterial design is simply the manufacturing of materials that could potentially replace body tissue. And this is actually really cool because what this implies is we can, in fact, grow our own organs, right? And the reason why proteins is, again, another very ideal um, material to be used in in this field is because since the human body is complex, right? And it's hard to find, I guess you could say, natural materials to replicate all those functions. But the advantage of proteins is that since existing proteins already have a lot of functional requirements, therefore we can actually use those, like I mentioned before, functional groups, right? We can extract those functional groups, and when we put them together, the manufactured proteins, they're also going to have a lot of functions, which again overlaps with the previous properties. Again, proteins, I'm just going to say proteins can perform many tasks, right? Proteins, they can definitely perform a lot of tasks. They can fulfill a lot of roles. They can carry out lots of functions. And finally, another important application is that it can create new hydrogels and regenerative medicine. So yeah, these three are some pretty, I guess you could say the main future applications of proteins. I definitely see it take off in the first two. Number three is also very cool too, and I really like. I think the idea of growing biomaterials is very cool. So in the future, maybe say like your organ is damaged, maybe you can in fact, I don't know, buy like a fresh organ and just swap it out, you know? It's almost like swapping out components in a PC because everything is modular. But yeah, so all of this cannot happen or will be very difficult without protein engineering, since the proteins that the human body can produce, although the human body can produce a variety, it's not nearly enough to accomplish these tasks. And that's where protein engineering comes in.